14-year-old visitor missing in St. Anne. Mark Golding planning on suing Deputy House Speaker for defamation. Two men shot to death in Portland while the Reggae Boys win their second game. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. A 14-year-old visitor to Jamaica has been reported missing in St. Anne. Shanoya Nicholson, a resident of Florida, was due to depart the island with her mother on Saturday. According to the police, Shanoya and her mother arrived in Jamaica on May 30th and were staying at Coolshade Richmond Apartments. She was last seen last Wednesday evening by her mother. The security guard reported that she was seen entering a white motor vehicle. Its license plate, model, and make were not ascertained, and the matter was reported to the police on Friday. Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golding has threatened to take legal action against Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Roy Clark over alleged defamation statement made about his relationship with his wife. The comments were made in a WhatsApp group of approximately 300 members on June 4th. In a letter dated June 7, law firm Hart Muirhead Fatter, which is representing Mr. Golding, said Mr. Clark must confirm in writing and agree not to publish or cause to be published any defamatory statement expressed or implied in any way concerning Mr. Golding. And it further states that Mr. Clark must provide a written apology, publish in a newspaper, and agree to discussions as to the terms of a settlement for damages for defamation. And he has until 4 p.m. today to do so. Failure to comply will result in legal action being taken for damages, injunctive relief, and associated costs. A 32-year-old father of five narrowly avoided prison time after being convicted of goat theft received a 2-year suspended sentence instead. The decision came of a compelling 1-hour plea from attorney-at-law Rodian Richardson on behalf of his client Anthony Spence. Spence's case arose from an incident on May 6 of this year when a team of police officers patrolling the Planters Main Road en route to Old Harbor signaled a gray motor car to stop at about 1:30 a.m. The vehicle, however, sped off in an attempt to evade the police, and after a brief chase, the car reportedly crashed on the Lennoxville Main Road. And during the search of the vehicle, the police recovered 6 stolen goats. Spence and another individual were subsequently arrested. In court, Richardson painted a vivid picture of Spence's life, characterized by relentless struggle, a fatherless childhood, and a mountain of responsibility at a tender age. He shared that Spence, who dropped out of school in grade 9, has been the primary provider for his 3 biological children, 2 stepchildren, his common-law spouse, and a mother. His attorney emphasized that the severe financial burden Spence faced fed his constant efforts to make ends meet through various low-paying jobs, including delivery services and carpentry. He argued further that Spence's actions were driven by sheer desperation rather than criminal intent. And in her sentencing, the parish court judge balanced the severity of Spence's offense with the potential for his rehabilitation and the impact of incarceration on his dependents. She sentenced Spence to 2 years in prison, suspended for 2 years on the condition of good behavior. And this means that Spence will avoid prison time if he does not reoffend within the next 2 years. An RF-15 multi-caliber firearm and 15 5.56mm cartridges were found in a pillowcase during a joint police-military operation in the Lottery community in Amity Hall in St. James on Friday. Reports are that about 4:30 p.m., the team conducted a snap raid in the area where a premises was searched, and during the search, the firearm and ammunition were found. No one was arrested in connection with that seizure. The police are now reporting that 2 of 4 men who were shot and injured during a gun attack at a bar in Dover District in St. Mary on Friday night have died. The deceased are 40-year-old Damian Melvin of Windsor Castle, Portland, and 34-year-old Leroy Moreland of the community. According to police report, about 7:10 p.m., Melvin Moreland and 2 other men were outside a bar in Dover District when they were approached by 2 gunmen. The armed men reported open gunfire, injuring all 4 men before fleeing the scene. The police were called and arrived to find the victims with gunshot wounds. The injured men were then taken to hospital where Melvin and Moran were pronounced dead. 1 man was admitted for treatment, while the 4th man received treatment and was later released. Police are also probing the murder of a woman and the wounding of a man in Mandeville on Saturday morning. Relatives name her as Desasha Falconer, otherwise called Drama, a resident of Burnt Savannah in St. Elizabeth. Falconer was reportedly an exotic dancer. Preliminary reports are that about 6 a.m., the police were called to a service station on Main Street where the woman's body was found face down, the ear was cordoned off, and police theorized that the woman and the man were walking from a nightclub when upon reaching the service station, they were attacked and shot. The injured man sustained gunshot wounds to his upper body, and police theorized that the man was the target of the attack as he was also shot during the shooting incident in 2022 in Greenvale. 2 men were killed in that incident in 2022. On to sports, 2 goals from Shamar Nicholson saw the Reggae Boys to a very uncomfortable 3-2 win over Dominica yesterday. Nicholson scored in the 30th minute and converted a penalty in the 78th to bring his tally for the national senior men's team to 19. He is now tied with the iconic Walter Blacker Pearl Boyd for 6th on Jamaica's all-time scoring list. Rising sensation Kaheem Dixon, the same youth I spoke of several months ago that he was going to be Jamaica's next football superstar, also got on the score sheet with a well-taken goal. He registered his 2nd goal for the country and his first in a competitive match, becoming the first teenager to score for Jamaica in a World Cup qualifier in almost 30 years. But that comfortable 3-goal lead was cut by 2 in the latter stages, with Javid George rounding Jamaica's Jamali White to make it 3-1 in goal. Then, just 5 minutes later, Troy Juliet's stunning free kick at the edge of the 18-yard box made it 3-2. But the Reggae Boys held on in the end to register a back-to-back win in the 2nd round of qualifying. It's a scary win as Dominica was not supposed to score, but a win is a win, and that is 6 points for the Reggae Boys. That's 6 points in the bag. Meanwhile, the United States were humiliated 5-1 by Colombia in a friendly, who played a clinical attacking game overwhelming a good U.S. team. And it was not that the US played bad, it was a matter that the Colombians played a very attacking game from start to finish, and the strikers were very accurate and hardly missed on any strike to the goal. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.